Welcome back. And the Deputy Local Government Minister, Obi Amwa, has justified the need for the inclusion of political parties at the local government level. Speaking on the Super Morning Show, Mr. Amwa said that it will strengthen the system, while Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu maintained that portions of the Constitution must be amended to cater for the referendum. Here are excerpts of their debate this morning on the Super Morning Show.
Good morning to your esteemed listeners and to the Senior Deputy Minister who is educating all of us, including the Ghanaian public, on the principle of elective district and municipal chief executives and what has so been introduced in Parliament by the President. The NDC National Party has taken a position, and accordingly on Wednesday and Thursday, I issued a trade-line whip for all NDC MPs to comply and to ensure that we vote no at the referendum. The party has raised very key constitutional and other critical national security issues that must guide policy action and indeed guide even government. Now, the government of President Nana Addo Dankwa introduced in Parliament, the first of it was an amendment to Article 243 of the Constitution, which requires that MMDCs can be elected. I should say that the decentralization system of Ghana, dating back to PNDC Law 207 of 1988, is a baby of the NDC, and decentralization itself, thanks to Professor Kwamina and Nensin and others, we've deepened it even though we've not achieved the ultimate. So sometimes my colleagues in government who boycotted the 1992 Constitution, they don't understand the principle and the purpose of the decentralized, when I say the drafting of the Constitution, they don't seem to appreciate what the ETO to be driven by decentralized Ghana. So accordingly, when Article 2431 was introduced, we drew government's attention. I've seen my colleague holding the Hansard of 29 July 2019, that the amendment before Parliament was flawed because it was not comprehensive enough. And if that amendment passed, which is just an amendment to Article 2431 of the Constitution, we would not be doing justice even to the principle of an elected MDC or DCA. So we said, for instance, Article 2433, which removes the DC from office. So we are saying that the DC should be elected, yet the president can fire him the next day after he's elected. That defeats the purpose. That is not part of the amendment the president introduced in Parliament. So if you are amending only 2431, you are doing cherry-pick, half-hearted constitutional amendment, which does not allow for even the elective principle that you are so espousing. Now, if you come to Article 248 of the 1992 Constitution, and with your indulgence, let me read 248. It's even fundamental, yet the President's amendment was silent on it. It reads, a candidate seeking election to a district assembly or any lower local government until such unit, a candidate seeking election to a district assembly or any lower local government unit shall present himself to the electorate as an individual and shall not use any symbol associated with any political party. So it may, a political party shall not endorse, sponsor, offer a platform to or in any way campaign for or against a candidate. So yet the amendment before Parliament is also silent on Article 248. More importantly, Article 246, 2462, the President's amendment is also silent on it. Unless he resigns or dies or he earlier ceases to hold office under Clause 3 of Article 243 of the Constitution, the term of office of this service shall be 4 years, and a person shall not hold office of a district chief executive for more than 2 consecutive terms. Now, if you don't amend it, it means that even with the elective principle, after one election, just 2 elections, you have ended my tenure. But this is elective. Therefore, I should be able to run so long as I'm popular and the mandate of the people are vested in me as a person. That is not also been amended. Now, 249 the President's amendment is also silent on it. Subject to any procedure established by law, the mandate of a member of this assembly may be revoked by the electorate or the appointing body. Now, there's not going to be an appointing body. So you need to...
Right. So you raised all of these issues.
So we raised all of these issues.
But did you agree on the referendum to
let me just set up the issues and respond. I'll come to... I'm dealing with them one after the other. Okay. If you just be 1 minute, I'll be done. So you come to 242, which is also very important. 242D raise. A district assembly shall consist of the following members. Other members not being more than 30% of all the members of the district assembly appointed by the president. You cannot have an elected district assembly and you expect that the president will send 30% of his party following to that assembly. That also defeats the principle. So we were discussing these general issues in Parliament and working to build consensus, as my colleague said. Then our attention was drawn to Article 55(3). And the way the language is couched in the constitutional amendment bill, political parties, and all we need to understand is a political party taking part in national competitive democratic elections. And my understanding is that can political parties take part in a local government system? The way the language is in Article 55(3), and you've seen advert of the Electoral Commission even say that the referendum is about MMDCs and their election. That cannot be true. It's one of the reasons we are urging the Ghanaian public to vote no. The referendum question is about whether political parties can participate, and that means making the district assembly system partisan. Initially, that was not even my understanding. So we have to decide between a partisan district elections and a non-partisan district elections. Remember that Professor Mills, subject to the Constitutional Review Committee, issued a white paper. So the elective principle has the support of the NDC as a party, but that principle should be on non-partisan basis. But relative to Article 243, that was not even my initial argument as the issues. So there's a new party position. I understand that some members of Parliament are not holding the line, and they will be dealt with in accordance with party discipline and parliamentary discipline. And therefore,
so make it the headlines.
No, no headline. We are just saying that
deal with you.
The party has taken a position.
Someone has a response. Let me take Mr. Samuel's responsibility.
He's my good friend. In fact, we get on very well. But on this occasion, his party has put him in a very difficult situation. I understand him. Some of the issues he's raised, we've gone past them. We've had several meetings as to the way forward. Even at a committee level, some of these issues were raised. But what we said was that let the people of Ghana know that we are committed to getting MMDCs elected. After the referendum, there are several issues that can come up. And we on our own should not pretend that we have all the knowledge. We should bring everybody on board. So that if we think that even for the MMDC, that his term of office should not be only 2 consecutive terms, but it should run as MPs. We alone cannot impose it on all of us. All of us will sit down, debate, and look at the issues. That is why they have come on board so well. At one point, the minority team was led by the second deputy speaker for us to see the way forward. And all along, they gave us the impression that they were so interested in getting MMDCs elected on partisan basis that it should even take precedence over the 2431. Let me read what my good friend, the minority leader, said in Parliament. Column 5119, 29th July 2019. And I quote, "The people may decide otherwise, and you cannot determine it. So the support of those of us on this side of the house is conditional to the fact that DCs should be elected, but they should be elected on partisan lines. That is the principle we will support and work with." So what they told us was that
what you have with you is the Hansard.
Yes, the Hansard of 29th July. I can let you have it. You can read.
I would need to let me take a look at it myself so that I see that we are looking at the parliamentary debate official report.
Yes, and he was not the only person who canvassed this business. we were worried. What we said was that let's do the 2431 first. Let's let the whole world know that that power has been taken away from the president. And then when we go to referendum, we tell the people at the referendum that the power has been taken away, but parties should be involved in electing such persons and assembly members. So parties get on board, and then let's push for the yes.
And coming up next is business right after this.